Today, I want to talk to you about this myth that if you're 50 years old or in your 50s, that it's too late to start saving for retirement or it's too late to increase your savings for retirement. I worked on debunking another myth recently. It is the $1 million retirement myth and how, people throw out a random number, experts throw out a random number, and it really disheartens people. So they don't even try to save for retirement because they know they can't get $1 million together. So if you want to watch that, it's linked below. But today I want to debunk a different myth, and this is the savings myth. And I work with so many women who are wanting change in midlife. It often comes in the form of a career change. And whenever they start looking at different careers or semi retirement, they think about how that will impact their full retirement down the road. And a good number of them have not saved as much as they want to for retirement. And, so many people are in that position, whether it's because of divorce or unforeseen circumstances, or, you just grew up in a family where you didn't talk about money. And so you're just not that savvy about retirement. Whatever the reason is, there's this feeling that if you're not there yet, you're never going to get there. So it makes me sad to think that some people aren't saving for retirement and won't have an advantage in retirement because they we're afraid to start saving or think it's too late. So many of the resources out there are for people who are starting out in life. They might be in their 20s or 30s or even early 40s, and it talks about what to do then to save for retirement. Or I find that other retirement resources are really for people who are about to retire. So it's about the steps and the logistics to get ready for retirement that way. But the people who are in between, maybe late 40s, in their 50s, perhaps even early 60s, and they haven't saved enough for retirement or haven't saved at all, really, there don't seem to be a lot of resources out there for them. So that's what I want to help you with today. I want to debunk that myth, and let's do the cheat sheet, the quick reveal. It's not too late to start saving for retirement. So please start saving right away. And I'm going to talk about why. So there are two big advantages to starting to save in retirement if you haven't done that already, or to amp up your retirement savings. And the first big advantage is obvious, of course. You're going to have more money saved for retirement, and so you'll have a bigger pot of money and have more income in your retirement, of course, right? But the second benefit to saving for retirement is it actually reduces the monthly income that you need in retirement. And we'll talk about that a little bit later down the road. But first, I want to talk about this increase in savings and why it's important to do it right now. And I want to do a little review of the tools that are available to us here in Canada and in the United States. So in Canada, we have your RRSP and your tax-free savings account. In the United States, that's the equivalent of your 401k and your Roth IRA. So there's differences between these, but basically what they all have in common is that you can put your money in there and you can earn interest on that money and you don't pay any tax on the interest. So you don't pay any tax on the interest. It can grow and grow and grow. And so compounding your money, let's say you start with $100 and you get 5% interest on that. Pretty soon you have $105. Then you earn interest on the 105. So you're earning interest on the interest, and then it grows and grows and grows from there. And so all of that time that it's in one of those accounts, you get tax-free growth essentially, which is what is really great. Now, there are some differences when you pull out the money out of those, I call them, the investment buckets. So with your RSP, you get a tax break when you put the money in, and then you pay tax later on when you pull the money out. And the benefit to that is that when you're in your high earning years, you're putting money into your RSP and you get a tax rebate for that. But the idea is likely in your retirement, you'll be at a lower income bracket. So when you pull out the money, you'll be paying a lower tax rate. And then you have the TFSA, and in the United States, this is the equivalent of your Roth IRA. And the equivalent of the RSP, I believe, is your 401k in the United States. So for the TFSA or the Roth IRA, what happens there is you're putting money in, you don't get a tax break on it. So the government, in your annual tax return, it's not like you're getting a rebate because you put money into that. But when you cash it out later in your retirement, you don't pay income tax on it because you've already paid your income tax on it. So that's the difference between the two. But for both of them, while the money is in there, you get to earn, you don't pay tax, I should say, on the growth. So you get to that compounding interest, and that bucket of money gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're not paying income tax on it, on that interest while it's in there. So it's a tax shelter, essentially. Now, what should you do with the money in the bucket? How should you invest it? That's not for me to say. The best thing you can do is talk to a financial advisor about that, but you want to make sure that you're getting enough interest so that it is giving you more interest or more growth than inflation. So the worst thing that you can do is take that savings account and put it in a checking account or a very low interest savings account, and then it's not growing very fast. So do talk to an investment advisor. There's ones that you can get at your bank. You can hire an investment advisor, or you can simply use a fee for service financial advisor where you pay them a certain amount and then they give you advice, but they're not selling you products. So do your research on that. There are great investments out there, but that's for an investment advisor. But just get it in there. I'm here to tell you to get it in the buckets. And so why is it not too late? Well, sure, if you had started when you were 20, you would have exponentially longer time to grow that money, and the compounding would help and you would earn so much more. But it doesn't mean that it's a waste of time right now. Putting the money in, I think what a lot of people forget is that, let's say you're 50 and you want to retire at 60. It's not like you only have 10 years for that money to grow. You don't pull all of the money out the day you turn 60 and spend it all. You take some of it out, and you're taking it out bit by bit. So you still have more years for it to grow. So let's say you're 50 years old and you want to retire at 60. Some of that money will keep growing until you're 70 or 75 or 80 or 85. So you have lots of years of growth ahead of you. So don't think that just because you didn't do it before, it's too late. Anything is better than nothing, and you still have time to compound that money. So the next thing I want to talk to you about with that is that this is the dream. This is passive income. So when you put money in and you're earning interest on it and it's growing tax-free in that bucket, that tax shelter, whichever one you use, that's passive income. So you are not having to work harder to earn more money. And that's the definition of passive income. And that's absolutely what you want. So it's really helpful. So that's the number one thing you should be doing to save money earlier. Don't wait for 10 years down the road, and do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. So imagine it's 10 years down the road and you started saving today. Future you is going to be so thankful that today you started putting money aside and saving for your retirement. Or you can imagine 10 years from now, and future you is looking and saying, really, I wish 10 years ago that I would have started saving for retirement. So sure, you wish that you had done it earlier. That's great. But here we are today. Don't put it off. It really is helpful to start today. So the number one reason I said for saving now and that it's not too late is that, any money you accumulate is going to help you in retirement and increase your income. But the magical thing about saving too is the number two reason. It actually decreases how much you need in retirement. And the reason for that is because you get used to living on less. So let's say right now you are spending your money, all of it, 100% of your money, and you're putting 0% away for retirement. That means that when you retire, you are going to really expect and need 100% of your income when you retire. Sure, maybe, if you pay off your mortgage or some big loans, that can reduce it as well. But if you're used to spending every dollar that comes in, you are going to probably want that same amount coming in retirement. But let's say you start putting 25% away of your retirement, of your money for retirement. And I know that's a lot, but we'll just use it as a number. So you put 25% of your income towards retirement. That is money that is not going towards car loans or paying off debt or your mortgage or buying trips or anything. It's money that's just set aside. You don't get used to spending it. It's not part of your regular income. You forget about it, off it goes. Well, now all of a sudden, you are used to living off of 75% of what you make instead of 100%. So when you retire, you will likely feel more comfortable living at 75% of your earn rate. So it helps you to get used to living on less, so you need less in retirement. So even 5 or 10% is helpful, but you'll find as you go, if you start to put that money away, you get used to it, and then you can try putting more money away. Lots of people are, at spending 60% of what they earn or even 50% of what they earn. I know for me, it happened gradually, but right now I'm living off of 50% of what I take home. 50% of it is going towards either paying down my mortgage faster or retirement. So both of those are going to help me in retirement. And it's part of my plan. But basically, I'm living off of 50% of my income. And that has been a game changer for me. So the last thing I want to leave you with is, well, how do you do this? My recommendation is to take the money off the top. If you wait until you feel like you have money to put aside for retirement, that's a great way to procrastinate and put it down the road. So taking it off the top, so every paycheck you get coming in, automatically the money is withdrawn, put into that retirement bucket, whatever you've chosen to invest it in, and it comes off the top. You don't even see it. And that's, I think, the easiest way to start increasing that retirement savings. And again, if me talking about putting away 50% of your salary is scaring you, forget that. Just forget it. Put away 5%, put away $100 a month, whatever you can. But is 50 years old too late to start saving for your retirement? Absolutely not. Start now. Your future self will thank you. So I'd love to hear from you what you think about all of this and the dual benefit of saving, it giving you money and actually reducing the amount that you think you need in retirement, your monthly needs, because you're used to living on a lower income. So tell me what you think about all of that. I'd love to hear from you what your challenges are for saving for retirement, what you found works. And if you are interested in information about how to pivot to early retirement, I have a free course on that that takes you through this and a bunch of other things. You can get that at karencarl.com, or I will put a link below. And finally, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me to be able to make more videos like this available to more people. Thanks so much.